Welcome to the Winning Move podcast. I'm your host, Stratton Brown. We have my good friend on here today, Michael Zuber. Thanks for coming on, Mike.
Absolutely, man. I look forward to these conversations.
You know, they're my favorite. Before we get started, guys, please go subscribe. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. Podcast, subscribe. Social, share it with your friends. If this brings you any type of value, Michael's where I go to get unbiased financial news to help me make better financial decisions. I have a couple of things I want to talk to you about, but what do you think the biggest takeaway from last week was?
I think the biggest takeaway from last week is there is now a general understanding that inflation is real. There's a general understanding that inflation punishes. It's kind of a reverse tax, right? Because taxes were tax the rich is a thing, right? And the whole idea is the more money you make, the more taxes you pay. That's the story that Washington wants to throw out there. Unfortunately, inflation is the exact opposite. Inflation punishes the poor, punishes the middle class. Hurts some of the rich, but there's a few folks out there that actually can use inflation and make gobs of money. So that's kind of been.
Does inflation affect you? I don't care.
Yeah.
As far as everyday goods, it doesn't really affect your life. And
so let's really talk about that, right? I pay the same amount as everybody does at the gas station. I've seen my food bill go up. I've seen my favorite Mexican joints food prices almost double. But does it stop me from doing anything? Absolutely not.
Right. Like it doesn't affect you. Like we see it. Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, I guess I feel it, but that amount of money isn't until it gets to be drastically huge.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal. But for someone else who's paying $70 to put gas into their gas tank and they are middle class, lower middle class, or poor, to me, like I remember being there.
I mean, because I don't remember a lot from my childhood. It wasn't great. And frankly, most of my memories suck. I remember walking around watching into our kitchen. My mother is sitting at this little brown table and she's clearly not happy, emotional. She has her checkbook out. I still remember the brown checkbook. And I ask her, what's wrong? And she goes, Michael, we've got $87 left in the checkbook and I've got $300 in bills. I don't know what to do. And that's because inflation was killing us in the 70s. So I've lived through it, right? I wasn't working, but I still have those memories. And I know there are families out there, rent's up, gas is up, food's up, clothing is up. And it sucks. In the moment, it sucks. However, if you follow one rental at a time in the Winning Move podcast, you actually can use inflation. Inflation will add to my net worth. It will add to my net income. I will be able to structure. I am adding debt right now because I want to have a pile of cash ready when deals come. And, so there are definitely winning moves that you can make when you see inflation coming. And I've seen it coming and I've been telling people for 9 months it's coming. It's here. And, I'm set up to use inflation for all it's worth.
Oh, yeah. And what's going on, Cletus? Well, I think Cletus is gone. But good morning, Cletus. We can use it.
Yeah.
We just need to get everyone else to be able to use it. I feel bad for people who don't have control of their income. If you have 9 to 5, you don't have control.
I really feel bad for fixed income, right? Fixed income people first, they're getting crushed.
Yep. If
right?
you have fixed income, there's nothing you can do to push it up, and then you're getting squeezed out. You're getting squeezed out. I guess you could say they're squeezing out the middle class. Like that's legitimately what they're doing.
Yeah, it's the next couple of years are going to be rough. You either use inflation or get crushed. It is really going to become that binary.
Do you think? I was reading some article the other day to where they're like, "Hey, the dude needs to fucking swallow the bullet and increase rates." This is what had to happen at the end of the 70s. The guy just had to be the bad guy, go in and shoot up rates. That was the only way to stop it. And from what I know, this is a similar situation to the end of the 70s, I think.
Yeah. See, this is such a delicate dance because one of the things, if you let rates get too high, the U.S. dollar, the U.S. economy grinds to a halt because the amount of debt we've added. The federal government cannot service this. If we ever get to the point where interest on our debt is greater than the revenue collected, and by the way, revenue is taxes, people, we're done. Over. Yep. Rates have to go up. They don't have to shoot up, but they have to go up. We have to stop the taper. We have to taper faster. We have to raise rates. Rates don't have to go up that much.
What do you mean taper?
So right now, the federal government is actively buying treasury bonds. One of the reasons rates are so low and I can get cheap ass money is because the government doesn't have to make a profit. The government is buying $120 billion a month in mortgage-backed securities and treasury bills. That is why rates are low. That has to stop. If they just stop that, rates would go up because other people have to make a profit. The federal government doesn't have to make a profit. They are the lion's share of people who are buying the treasuries, and that's why treasuries are so low. And treasuries are low means the mortgage rates are low. So they're tapering. They need to stop like yesterday.
Wow. What else besides inflation do you think was a really, really big takeaway from last week?
Well, just real estate is going to continue to go up, right? We've seen a couple of things. First off, there's a general appreciation on Wall Street that single-family homes are the best investment. What does that mean? It means the adjusted rate of return on single-family homes exceeds 8%. They can't get 8% multifamily. They can't get 8% commercial. They can't get 8% here. They can't get 8% there. So Wall Street's going to come buy it. Zillow exits the flipping business. They have 18,000 units.
Right, but they can buy it scale. Because like for me, I feel like it's the worst investment because you can't buy it. They have to figure it out. They can go buy it in scale and it doesn't matter.
Well, they just shut down their business. But what I was going with that is they just sold 2,000 units to a Wall Street hedge fund.
No, I'm talking about hedge funds can buy it.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Zillow buy it at scale, and then it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. They hold forever, right? It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
So yeah, so hedge funds can earn 7-8% risk adjusted return. So they're coming. Dude, hedge funds are saying single family is where we're at. They are buying 20% of the capacity of D.R. Horton. Think about that. D.R. Horton, national home builder, supposed to be building for the little guy. 20% of the inventory is going direct to Wall Street. Build for rent. If you're not figuring out how to add some rentals to your financial position, they're expensive now. Just wait. They're going to get more expensive.
Right, and you're really going to have to start buying up neighborhoods, right? Like you're just going to have to start buying packages of houses in neighborhoods instead of buying multifamily. Because even in storage, bro, like the stuff that people want is astronomical. Like no, like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there is. I've been in this market before where everything is inflated. Everything is peak of market. It's tough. It's really tough peak of market, especially if you have some capital or relationships where you want to deploy. And I'm just constantly reminded of Warren Buffett and Jamie Dimon. Both gentlemen I respect. Both gentlemen I follow. And right now, Jamie Dimon Stratton is sitting on $1 trillion of cash. $1 trillion with a T. Warren Buffett is sitting on $149.2 billion in cash. They're like, we'll wait. Everything's expensive. Everything's stupid. Eventually, there will be a sale. But you should keep doing your work. Keep making relationships. You just never know. When this breaks, somebody will call you and say, hey, we need to sell this unit yesterday. And you'll get a shot. So keep doing the work.
But so the crazy thing is, like you hear the Warren Buffett and the other guy, right now there's never been this much money on the streets. Trying to buy shit.
Yeah, and part of the problem is we gave $5 trillion to the American people. When you add up all the stimulus and all the extras and all the stuff, $5 trillion was given away. 1.3 trillion, or about 30% of that, is still sitting in savings accounts. That money is about to be blown away. We're about to have a monster Q4. We're about to have the sugar rough blow off top rally ever, in my opinion. Retailers are going to make a killing, and then we're going to be left in a very bad spot next year when nobody's got any money. So right now, I'm save, learn, look for deals, try to get the deal of the decade, because sometimes you can find timing before the end of the year. Mm-hmm. But I'm not in a rush. I will be okay buying next year.
Well, I wasn't wanting to talk about that, but these retailers, they're going up. Like they're making they will make an absolute killing. You were reading off their numbers from earlier.
Yeah.
And how they like double.
Think about it. Think about this. I don't know about you. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I watch sports, the Warriors and all that, right? That's my shtick. I have not seen a single advertisement for a Black Friday sale. Zero. Guess what that means? That means they are saving millions of dollars in advertising. They are not going to be discounting, which means fatter margins.
Yep.
They are going to have such an amazing Q4. It is going to be unbelievable. And then next year, when we have the business cycle and a recession kicks in, nobody has any money. It's going to be a tough year, I think, at least Q2, Q3. So
well,
it's
and
crazy.
Then all the media pushing supply chain issues, right?
Yeah.
It's its own advertising.
It is.
Shit, we got to buy it. We got to buy it. We got to buy it. Like, you don't even need to have a black. Nothing.
Nothing has to be on sale. Don't have to sell anything. If you give everybody $5 trillion and then you scream shortage, what are you going to do? You're going to go buy your kids, their widget. You're going to buy the Santa Claus thing or whatever. Now, you don't care if it's on sale or not. You want to buy it so you have something to open.
Exactly.
It's a trend. And again, people are going to be set up. The average consumer who's not educated about money, you're going to buy it now at full price. In February, March, or April, when the freaking shipping containers get uncorked, you could have bought it for 50% off. And you have no money left. It's just sad.
Is there any news or headway on the shipping containers?
No, near as I can tell, last I checked, there was 111 ships sitting out in Southern California, up from last week 103. It's a problem.
Stephen Forbes talked about that of the Tim Brott's mastermind, and he said it was legitimately just the government. He said it was the government won't change up some of the importing standards to where they won't let them stack the boxes, the cargo boxes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so
rules and regulation, how many empties and all of this. It's the rules, regulations is union. Let's be very clear, very union organized dock workers. I don't know what they're called, but there's a lot of rules and regulations that were built for normal supply chain, and we have anything but normal supply. 111 ships. Can you imagine? No wonder one of their anchors tripped an oil line and created a problem in wherever it was, somewhere in Long Beach or somewhere. It's crazy.
And he was talking about this is why California is so bad, because there's so much bureaucracy, so much regulation that you can't just make a quick change to help the economy and help America.
Absolutely. I wanted to build 8 affordable homes on a plot of land that I bought during the last crash. I gave that land. I was willing to assume the value of that land was zero in my cost model. I was trying to build legitimately affordable homes, like 900 to 1,100 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, nothing fancy. The whole idea was like ultimately produce something under 250 grand. That was my goal. I had them designed. I spent 10 grand having them designed and architected. We brought it to the city. They wanted roughly $200,000, $250,000 and a year to maybe approve the project. I would have been sitting on this for a year, and then I would have ultimately had a year of inflation. I would have lost $30,000 or $40,000 a house. You can't build affordable houses in California. I never want to hear Governor Gavin Newsom talk about affordable housing again. I don't want to hear it. I tried. It's stupid. It's not set up to happen.
It's not set up to happen, and like all the fees that get tacked on top of your building costs.
Dude, before I moved a freaking spoonful of dirt, they wanted $225,000. Really? And no guarantee of approval. Fuck you, I'm not doing that.
What? Yeah, and then it only gets more corrupt because someone's just going to pay off a politician and get it done.
Yeah, I'm not playing that game. But yeah, it's I never want to hear about the death of the need for affordable housing. You can't do it in California given the rules that Newsom and others have out there. It's just crazy.
So I have it right here. We'll talk about this. The government has caused every problem we are currently seeing in the economy. Every problem. If you look at it as far as human psychology goes.
Yeah. I mean, I've been following consumer my entire life, certainly the entire adult life. And a lot of what's going on in the consumer in your families is because of it's the government and the media. I don't want to let the media off the hook. The media the media is the amplifier, right? It is the megaphone. And they deserve it. They deserve a fair amount of blame as well.
And so it was only a matter of time for all this to happen when we paid everybody to stay home.
Of course. When you sprinkle $5 trillion and people are itching to go spend it, and then you scream shortage, what the hell do you think happens? It's crazy.
But like, I don't get how, okay, we are the best country in the world, and our economists were like, hey, bro, like we see like 3 steps down the chain and it's not good. Don't do this.
So I have an econ degree. I've been studying economics or their variables for 3 decades. Economists, generally speaking, look backwards. Generally speaking, not many of them look forward. Everything economics is a rear view mirror. Not many economists are like weather forecasters. They're not very good at the future because there are so many variables that can make an economy go. So most economists don't talk about
it. But like, I mean, if you say this, if you print money, tell people they don't have to work, you're going to have a labor shortage, then you're going to have a supply. Like it all like made sense completely up front into our one account's like, well, if this happens, this happens, this happens.
I've been talking about it for 9 months.
People are calling it. So,
yeah.
And like, we're not world economists. Like, we aren't being paid by the government to tell them what decisions they should make financially.
No, again, this is very predictable, folks. And that's why I'm telling you, we're in a wage inflation spiral. I do my best to look forward because the reason I don't look backwards is because I'm trying to make decisions with my money for my family. And right now we are in a wage cycle that's going to go on for several years. Wage cycles mean prices have to go up. Prices go up means what? Wage cycle is a very sneaky, painful understanding, because as wages go up, and I just talked about it this morning on the daily financial news, the service sector, like leisure and hospitality, up 13% already. That's amazing, right? They have all the power in the world. But guess what happens, right? When you do that, next thing that happens is Chipotle, right, who raised salaries, had to raise the cost of the burrito bowl. It's easy to predict, but nobody's talking about it. So again, it's very simple.
But then you have people pushing back saying, oh, we need to raise minimum wage even higher so people can live. And then like, okay, well, everything else is just going to go up. Like, it just follows.
Yeah. Sometimes. So I did this one time when like people were talking about 15 or 20 bucks. It's really hard sometimes for people to see what happens when you just do little changes. So I did a video on my channel about stop the madness. I want minimum wage to be 50 bucks an hour. To be extreme. Because sometimes when you get extreme, people can see how the dominoes fall better.
Yeah.
Guess what happens? I don't care what minimum wage is. If it's 15, if it's 20, if it's 50, but just play with me a little bit. If everybody's minimum wage is 50 bucks, guess what happens? That's $100,000 a year. I hope every American out there makes $100,000 a year. If I had it, great, magic wand. Guess what happens? McDonald's goes up, gas goes up. Because again, unless we are making more stuff, it doesn't matter, right? It's supply and demand.
But there's no value that you're pushing out for the same amount of money.
Exactly. There's nothing. There's nothing more creative. You're not better. It's just screaming, and then people rush in. And if minimum wage went from, I don't know what it is, 15 to 50, rent on a 1-bedroom in Fresno would be $2,000 a month for the most basic 1-bedroom. And today they're like 800. Because you're not making any more units. There's the same amount of people. It's a very simple thing.
1 bedroom is in a shit show of a neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah. And it would be $2,000, $2,500, whatever. Because again, it's supply and demand. If you're just giving everybody more money, like this universal basic income, that sounds great. The government's giving me $500 a month. Well, guess what? They're giving everybody else $500 a month too. And everybody's going to be buying the same hamburgers and the same pizza and paying the same rent with the same cars and the same gas. Prices are going up.
I like the idea of the universal basic income, but I just don't, right? It's not feasible. It's legitimately not feasible.
It's for me, it's all about who gets it.
What's going on, Ty?
Ty. Whoever gets, if you can control it to a certain set of people, it makes total sense to me. There are some sorts, handicap, this, that, the other thing. If you can narrow it to a set of people, it's great. But when you give it to everyone, that is inflationary. It just is. It may be right, but it is inflationary and everybody loses.
Okay. And Ty says we have the best content on social. Stratton Brown, Michael Zuber. Thanks, Ty.
What a great guy. Yeah.
We would like to agree. Yeah, I think it's I don't get it. I don't get how people can make decisions actively knowing what's going to happen. I feel like everybody's like, no, this is going to happen. Everybody's like, no, we're doing it still.
No, Well, again, I don't really care anymore. I've done. I don't. You see the madness coming. My job is to take advantage of the madness.
I'll give
My
you that.
job is to take advantage of the madness. What do I mean by that? Right now, 30-year mortgage rates are stupid low. Guess what? I'm going to go get as much 30-year money as I can. I think we're going to get into an environment where commercial real estate blows up. I'm going to have a pile of cash patiently waiting to take advantage of that. It's okay.
I hope so, bro. What's going on, Dino? Dean says hi.
Hey, man.
A lot of interaction on a Sunday morning. So who's the new Fed nominee? Who was it? I didn't even look.
Oh, our president can't make a decision. I can't just how
motherfucker can't think. The motherfucker can't even talk.
That's pretty weak. I'm going to make a decision in 4 days. No, I'm not. I don't know what it's a bad look. It is a bad look. And just bad. I think it's going to be Brainerd, frankly. I think.
And so, what's the difference? Like, I don't know anything about this.
So right now,
like,
yeah, Brainerd and Powell. Right now, the scary thing is Brainerd is more dovish, which means rates are going to stay low longer. And oh, by the way, we're going to have inflation longer. Brainerd is. Here's the deal, and I did videos on this. We are repeating the sins of the 1960s. What do I mean by that? In the 1960s, we had a Fed president who basically said, and he wasn't an economist or an accountant. He was a business owner. And he said, I worry about full employment. I'm a business owner. It's all about employment and damned prices to hell. Sounds good. Feels good. Then inflation takes hold and you get kicked in the teeth. And then you had to bring in Paul Volcker, who gets credited with breaking the back of inflation. He had to take the overnight lending rate to like 13% or something stupid. It just crushed the economy. Right now, and it was Powell. Let's be very clear. Powell's a Republican. Powell said last year, we are going to change our priority and make it about full employment versus stable prices. And guess what? We have anything but stable price. Has anybody filled up their gas tank recently? It cost me $100 to fill up my freaking little 2-door car. Are you nuts? Crazy. So we do not have stable prices, and employment's getting better. If you're a parent, can you have 2 top priorities? You can't.
No.
And the Fed has always talked. You can't. There's always one top priority. And right now the Fed has mistaken full employment. And if Brainerd gets appointed, she is going to go hard at full employment. And dude, inflation's going to go from bad to worse. That's the difference.
And Powell, you think he will just come in, stay in and raise rates?
Well, Powell is, it's really weird. Powell's a dove in my opinion, but he's more hawkish, which means he'll back out faster. The biggest difference is Leonard's a Democrat and Powell's a Republican. So what does that mean, really? I mean, again, folks,
I don't think you should ever have a Democrat in an economist position.
Well, I'm not gonna get into red versus blue nonsense because it means nothing to me.
Well, you should never have a business owner in the I just don't think you should.
Yeah.
So is based off of his business.
What's going to happen is Brainerd, because she's a Democrat and will be appointed by the president, she's going to look the other way and be as accommodative as she can up until the midterm elections. She just will. If you don't think she's going to be accommodative to the midterm elections to give the Democrats the best shot, you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Powell won't. He'll be like, I'm going to go on my plan. I don't give a rat's tail who wins. Let's go. So that's the big difference.
All right, new Fed nominee. Are you afraid of deflation? I saw that. Is that Jonathan Twombly?
Yeah, I am not afraid of it.
I'm not afraid of it. I don't think it'll happen.
Well, I'm not afraid of it. I am prepared for it. That is why I'm not afraid.
Okay. I think why you're prepared for deflation. Because
I've lived through multiple asset bubbles. And the best time to be ready is with cash. I want to be Jamie Dimon and Warren Buffett. Did you know that Warren Buffett extracted a king's ransom from Goldman Sachs last time? I consider Goldman Sachs the premier Wall Street banker. Yeah. They got in such a bad shape for cash that they came to Warren Buffett and gave him a king's ransom last time. I want to be in a position when asset prices crack to buy some properties with buy a lot more. I hope to be I hope to double my portfolio in the next 3 to 4 years, all because the debt structure in commercial today is as bad as residential in '06. And I'm gonna patiently wait for it to blow up. So I'm
You gotta
ready
get
for
really creative right now as far as commercial goes to like make something happen.
Well, today, yeah, because cap rates are so compressed, rent assumptions are stupid. You can go raise money. Like anybody can raise money. You never have to do a deal and you can raise millions of dollars. That is not the time to buy, folks. That is the time to sit back, watch the stupid people lose a lot of money and come back and buy. I bought stuff for 50% off in the last crash, like units, buildings, because like the building I have on Millbrook, somebody paid 1.4 million bucks for it. I bought it 4 years later for 700. It was the same 18 units. It was the same rent profile. It's because somebody got bad debt structure and it blew up and they lost it.
Well, I think now building your brand is more important than ever because I do want to be able to raise cash when everything does hit the fan.
Exactly.
Right? Mike, if you want to start a fund when everything hits the fan, you're like, hey, I spent all my own cash. I need a fund to buy more shit. Like that.
Done.
Let's talk about it. Done. Now you have all the purchasing power that you want.
Yeah. Yeah. I did the 6 and 20 program when I left work, right? Because I had some cash. I didn't have as much as I have now, but I could do 1 or 2 deals. I could have probably done 5 deals with my own money. I put it out to my network. I had $3 million in 24 hours.
Now it's even bigger.
It could be. Way bigger. Yeah, I could if I wanted to, but right now I'm not looking because the deals aren't there. But yeah, I build 1 rental at a time. I do 5 videos a day because I know the time is coming, and I will pounce. I will tell everybody I'm pouncing. If I got to do a fund, I'll do a fund or I'll do private. Yes. Right.
You can do something to where I think everybody who is watching this, I keep preaching, you need to build your brand more.
Now's the time to build your brand. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them what you're looking at. Tell them what you found. Tell them why it's not a deal. Tell them why it's a deal. And you do that over and over. I did something very similar, except in 06, 07, it was with the written word. Video really wasn't a thing.
Was it your blog?
A blog. Yeah, I did a blog called Wealth Building Pro, and I wrote for Bigger Pockets. Same deal. I didn't get 3 million. I got 2 million. How did I buy so much stuff in 2010? It's because of all the work I did in 8 and 9.
100%. So any of you guys who are thinking about it, if you come across a good deal now, I think you should buy it, right? If I see a good deal, I'm still going to buy it right now.
It's always a great day to buy a great deal. Always. Always. Underscore, bold letters, italics.
All right. I'm going to ask my ecom people what they're doing for Black Friday sales because they were talking about like prepping them. But right now, I think they could save more money. I'm talking to one of the heads of my mastermind on Tuesday.
Nice.
Let's talk about your Toys for Tots.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be gone all December, so we can't do anything through the hub. So we'll do it all through Toys for Tots. I think that's
awesome. I like that. Yeah. So there's a couple of things. One thing that I have always believed in is giving back. I focus on people that were like me when I was younger, food insecure and gifts insecure, right? There were Christmases where we got hand-me-down gifts. We couldn't afford to buy anything. I was food insecure. So one of the things that you will see me do every Christmas is Toys for Tots. My mother happens to be a great individual who sponsors a community. So my channel, my following, we will donate to her group, and I will probably do a matching thing up to a certain number. Yeah. Toys for Tots. If you ever want to if you want to feel better about yourself, you want to get some good karma, buy some gifts, make a donation for Toys for Tots. There are so many kids out there that don't have gifts. It's sad. It's sad. And I think last year my community gave around $6.5 grand. I'm hoping to break 10 grand this year.
Yeah, I don't know where we were for the hub, but we had a lot of money. Money as far as the toys for the hub.
Yeah, I dropped $1 grand. I did one for my mom, and then I dropped $1,000 on Amazon toys for the hub. So yeah,
we spent quite a bit. At least I know I spent quite a bit.
Yeah, it's just awesome. Give back, people.
Give back. All right. Anything? Oh, and when's the course price going up?
January 1st.
January 1st. How much is it going up to?
Oh, it's going up. Well, I have 2 courses that are going up. I have my mentoring option that's going to go up a lot, right? In my mentoring option, I give away 30 minutes of my time, which today is $5.99. It will be significantly more expensive January 1st. And then the base course, how to get started 1 rental at a time, will be going up as well. quite significantly. So if you want to ever get in, now's the time. It's $2.99, so step up.
Now is the time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, please go share it with your friends. Give us a 5-star review if you're on YouTube. Subscribe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will talk to you guys all tomorrow.